is currency in hip hop, but it's also a double-edged sword. In the world of rap, visibility brings influence, but it also makes you a target. And for artists like Lil Durk and Young Thug, their fame and status not only elevated their voices, but left them exposed to heightened surveillance and forces intent on criminalizing their art and their identity. So why does this matter? Why is this important? Because the intersection of fame, surveillance, and systematic bias in hip-hop reveals a very troubling reality. Law enforcement isn't just watching rappers, they're weaponizing their fame against them. In a society that claims to value free expression, hip-hop artists face unique vulnerabilities that reflect deeper issues of race, culture, and power. For artists whose music is rooted in blackness, but also street culture and visibility, this is a blessing and a curse. See, fame amplifies influence, but it also diminishes freedom, especially in the spaces where lines between legality and illegality are blurred. Social media, live streams, vlogs, interviews, even lyrics become tools for public and legal scrutiny. Prosecutors and law enforcement exploit this, treating artistic expression as evidence of criminality. And for artists like Durk and Thug, their clout inadvertently blinded them to their actions, and even how their words could be turned against them. Now, this isn't really about individual choices, it's about systems. Entire divisions of law enforcement are dedicated to monitoring rappers, using their art as well as their online personas to construct narratives of guilt. The involvement of Durk and Thug in these latest high-profile cases gives these efforts additional legitimacy, reinforcing stereotypes about black men and rappers and their criminality. It's a modern extension of systemic racism where hip-hop artists are disproportionately targeted because their art speaks truth to power in ways that threaten the status quo. But here's the irony. Law enforcement and their relentless pursuit of rappers have become their own version of clout chasers. Just like aspiring artists, these agencies capitalize on the fame and controversy surrounding figures like Durk and Thug, and this amplifies their own agendas. Instead of justice, what we often see is a performance, one that reinforces systemic inequality while undermining the cultural and artistic contributions of hip-hop. In essence, the experience as a Young Thug, and also eventually Lil Durk, these aren't just cautionary tales, they're reflections of a larger issue. Hip-hop is born out of resistance. It's being surveilled, judged, and criminalized in ways that expose the systemic biases of our legal and cultural institutions. It's a reminder that clout in hip-hop isn't just power, it's also a liability. And this is in a society that's intent on controlling the narratives of those it deems as threatening. So when we look at the intersection of hip-hop and surveillance, we must ask ourselves, what does it say about our society when the very art form that gives voice to marginalized communities is used to silence them? Thank you, and that's my 3-minute thesis.